have this problem. I love going out to eat. Wonderful. I like going to restaurants that have good food, interesting food, and good service. I can't go out to eat that much anymore. It's gotten really expensive. I'm sure you have experienced this. You go out to eat for 2 people, it's over $100. And sometimes that doesn't even include drinks. I mean, it's crazy. It's very expensive. So what I like to do is I like to create dishes at home. But they have to be interesting dishes. Otherwise, it's not worth it. I'd rather just go out to eat already and spend $100. What are you going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to create interesting dishes. So we get to today's recipe. Very interesting. Meatballs. Lamb meatballs. Now that's not terribly interesting, but what is interesting is the sauce. Now this is a hummus channel, so of course we're going to make a hummus sauce. Lamb meatballs with a hummus sauce. Woo! That sounds terrific. So good. We're eating home tonight. We're not going out. I'm going to go out after dinner. I just skipped the food. Go right to the drinks. More economical. Well, not the way I drink, but, usually for most people it's more economical. So what we have to do is keep everything cold. That's going to keep the emulsion. I mean, meatballs have 2 big ingredients, fat and water. And those 2 ingredients don't mix. So, in order to keep that mix, you keep the fat really cold, and it'll stay emulsified and have a nice texture, not too dry and crumbly. Okay, let's get going. Let's get started. Let's start cooking, man. I'm hungry. I got 1 pound of lamb. I have 1 onion chopped up. That's 1 medium onion, chopped up pretty small. And I have a bunch of parsley. Okay, if you can see that, it's like medium chopped. Very good. I'm going to use a half a teaspoon of allspice, 1 egg, a teaspoon of salt, and about a half a teaspoon of cracked black pepper. Now my hands are a little bit warm, okay? That's just the nature of hands. So I want to mix this, mix it quickly and not overmix it, and don't get it so the lamb mixture is too warm because my hands will give off that heat into the lamb mixture. Okay, I have here an ice cream scoop. It's a 1/4 cup ice cream scoop. I'm going to make the meatball. I make it just level to the ice cream scoop. There you go. Now my hands are a little wet with cold water. I'm just going to roll the meatballs. And what I want to do is just take the meatball and put it right in the oil. I'm going to put it on a little low now, and I'm going to cover it. So it's going to fry and kind of bake at the same time. Okay, so I'm going to let these cook for about 5 minutes like that. Beautiful. Then I'm going to turn them over, let them cook again for 5 minutes. Fantastic. Okay. These are beautiful. And look at that color. That's awesome. Okay, so while the lamb is cooking, I want to show you how easy it is to make this sauce. This whole dish is really easy. And that's the point. You want to make interesting food. You want to make delicious food. But you want to make it easy so that you're not stuck in the kitchen all day and you don't feel like it's a chore. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what good cooking's all about. So let's make this sauce. I start with 1/2 cup of tahini. And I'm going to add the juice of 1 lemon. I'm going to add 2 cloves of garlic, minced. I'm going to add 1 cup of vegetable broth. You can use chicken broth if you want to. Okay, I don't add any extra salt because there's plenty of salt in the chicken broth or vegetable broth. Just mix it up. It's going to look a little separated. That's okay, because once we start to heat it up with the meatballs, it's going to come together. Now, woo, these meatballs are awesome. Nice and brown, both sides. That gives us a good flavor. Okay, now I want to take them out and put them on a plate. Hey, beautiful meatballs. Okay, now I want to take this oil and get rid of it. But don't wipe out the pan. You see all that little bits of lamb in there? It's good flavor. Now I got to take that mixture I made. Finish cooking the meatballs right in that mixture. The sauce looks a little broken. Don't worry about it. It's not. Okay. Now I'm going to do is cover it up. I'm going to cook the meatballs just like that in the sauce for about 20 minutes. Alexa, set timer for 20 minutes.
20 minutes, starting now.
Alexa, turn off timer. Okay, you heard it. Time's up. 20 minutes. 20 minutes goes by pretty fast around here. Anyway, check out these meatballs. They smell terrific. Woo! And you can see the sauce came together and everything as they cooked. Wonderful. Okay, so meatballs come out. I put them in this nice dish like that, just to hold them. Now check out this sauce. It's nice, but it's a little thin. So here's what we got to do. And by the way, I'm going to put a link in the description below for a lot of equipment I'm using today, like the blender, like the tahini. Tahini. Wonderful, versatile piece of kitchen equipment. You've seen I can saute with it. I can also braise with it. And best of all, it's a tahini. Tahinis are wonderful. Okay, back to the recipe. Okay, so I'm just going to pour the sauce right into the blender. Beautiful. And I got to thicken this up. Hey, this is the hummus sauce. What am I going to thicken it up with? Some cooked chickpeas. You put the chickpeas in and you run some cold water on it. So just wash the surface dirt off. That's all you're doing. Fill it about a good inch. My rule of thumb is however many chickpeas I have, double the amount of water. I'm going to put a half a teaspoon of baking soda inside. I'm going to put this right in the refrigerator. Going to stay in there overnight. Okay, so the second part of this is cooking the chickpeas. Remember those chickpeas we soaked? Look, I had to put it in more containers. It got so big, it soaked up so much water. Fill that bowl all the way up with water. Now I'm going to agitate these chickpeas. Like that. I fill this with water, nice cold clean water, about 4 inches above the chickpeas. Okay, the fire's on high to start, and I'm going to throw in there half a teaspoon of baking soda. About medium, we'll see how it goes, and cook it for an hour and a half. Okay, check this out. Very nice, very soft. I'm going to strain these chickpeas. I cook a cup of raw chickpeas, but don't add the whole cup. It's too much. You're going to have like a paste instead of a sauce. I add a couple of tablespoons and then puree it. See how it comes. Okay, so I'm going to throw about 2 tablespoons of chickpeas in the sauce right now. First thing we have to do Ooh, the consistency, beautiful. Look at that. Then we gotta taste it. That's really nice. Remember those meatballs? Woo! This is delicious. Meatballs are good consistency. Very nice. The emulsion was not broken. Awesome. Mmm. That's delicious. Good texture, right? It's not like soft and mushy like it was with breadcrumbs. This is all lamb. And you taste the lamb. Delicious. You taste that lemon juice coming through and the garlic. Wonderful. The tahini. Excellent. And the creaminess of the chickpeas just rounds it out beautifully. This is some meatball. This might be the best meatball ever. You gotta try this recipe. And I'll see you next video. Oh yeah. Mmm. Delicious.